Love OT for Kids by D.K. Daddan, Pediatric Occupational Therapist.
Hello friends, today we are going to discuss sensory symptoms and red flags in kids' day-to-day life. We all have sensory processing needs and differences. Seeing your child's behavior through the sensory lens will allow you to understand them and support their needs. Most of the behaviors in this list are pretty clear indicators that your child is seeking or avoiding a certain kind of sensory input, and all that means is you need to support it. Let's take a look at these 10 sensory red flags that you might be missing.
When kid avoids movement,
If your child gets scared at climbing playground equipment, roughhousing, or riding a swing, they are likely avoiding vestibular and possibly proprioceptive input. Those are our sixth and seventh senses that give us our sense of balance and body awareness.
gagging at the sight, taste, and smell of foods.
Although not always sensory, gagging immediately when confronted with foods is often because the oral system is being overwhelmed.
Frequently walking on toes.
Children often do this because they are sensitive to the sensations they are feeling on their feet and prefer as little of their foot to be touching the surface as possible. Sometimes children toe walk because they like the pressure it puts on their ankle, which is more proprioceptive feedback. Or it can also be the result of a vestibular system that is not processing properly.
Looking clumsy.
There are a variety of reasons that a child may seem to fall or bump into objects more than other children. And one of the most overlooked reasons is because the child's proprioception and possibly vestibular systems are not working too well.
Hides at parties or avoids them.
If your child hates going to parties or other public places, it is possible that they may be overstimulated by the noise, lights, or people accidentally touching them. For kids that have this response due to a sensory processing difficulty, a party can be downright torture as the sounds, sights, and unexpected touches can just be painful to them literally.
Prefers tight clothing.
Sometimes kids will want to layer clothes or wear really tight fitting clothing to give themselves more proprioceptive input. It may seem strange, but the sensation they receive is calming to them and may even help them focus better. Or your child may be extremely particular about some sort of fabric. This all relates back to sensory.
Said as wild child.
There are a variety of reasons that kids seem to bounce off the walls at times. But kids that always seem to be jumping, climbing, running, pushing, and roughhousing are typically seeking out proprioceptive input and sometimes vestibular as well. Unfortunately, these kids are often described as bad or wild, but really they are just trying to get their needs met.
Likes bright, fast-paced TV shows.
I know a lot of kids like these types of shows, but if your child only wants to watch fast and bright shows, then it may be an indication that they want more visual stimulation. If that is the case, your child may also like looking at lights and brightly colored or high contrast books.
Bites toys or people when unprovoked.
If your child seems to bite others or their toys often, usually for no reason, they are probably looking for some deep, intense proprioceptive input.
Doesn't seem to notice when being talked to or needs direction repeated.
Yes, sometimes kids ignore and sometimes this is normal. But if it is a frequent recurring issue, then it is a sign that your child's auditory or hearing system is not processing information well. My hope is that when you see your child behaving in one of these ways, you have a new understanding about why, which really is a game changer. Thank you.